Hi everyone, my name's Nicole and I'm from Made for You Ministry, a partnership organization working with your church to promote inclusion in your children's ministry program. Today, we'll be going through a simple video series to go over what an inclusion ministry is, some tips and tricks for success, and information on the role of a buddy within this program. This training is designed for volunteers who want to work in your children's inclusion ministry, as well as general children's ministry volunteers to learn the structure of this program. Let's get started. The goal of an inclusion program is simple. Create a safe space to share the love of God with all children. You may see kids in your church's classrooms that have additional physical, behavioral, or learning needs in comparison to their peers. At its core, an inclusion program aims to provide the resources and support necessary for all children to participate in your church's existing children's ministry program. Inclusion ministry is not a separate classroom or babysitting for kids who learn differently, but rather adding the necessary resources and tools to your program to allow genuine experiences with God. In this video, we're going to talk about the structure of an inclusion ministry program and why we use them. Let's start with the Bible and see what Jesus says about inclusion. In Luke 14:13, Jesus commands us, "But when you give a banquet, invite the poor, the crippled, the lame, the blind, and you will be blessed." This is the basis for why we value inclusion ministry. Jesus gives us a crystal clear image of exactly who we should be reaching out to, and together we're taking the first step to fulfill this command. Let's look at the 5-step process to understand this program from start to finish. Step 1. Someone notices a child who needs extra support. This could be the child's parents, or maybe a volunteer notices needs from a child that disrupts their participation. It's important to note here, a child does not need a formal diagnosis or obvious disability to qualify for additional support. And referral for inclusion ministry support does not mean anything is wrong with a child. We're all about maximizing participation, improving peer relationships, and allowing for genuine connection with God, rather than labeling or categorizing anyone. This is why we call it an inclusion ministry, rather than a special needs or disability program. If you're the one noticing a specific need, let your children's ministry director know so they can connect with the child's family. Someone from the church will observe the child during programming or have a conversation with the child's parents. If it seems the child would benefit from additional support, step 2 would be for parents to complete a form with information about their child's needs and their goals for them in children's ministry. In our next video, we'll take a look at what an example of that form might look like. Step 3. Someone from your church or from Made for You Ministry will complete an accommodation plan with the family. This outlines exactly what the church is going to do to support this child. As a buddy or volunteer, you won't be the one making this plan, but you will reference it when working with a child. So we'll also look at a sample accommodation plan in our next video. Step 4 is actually doing the things we plan to do to better support this child. If the child has a buddy, they will be the individual primarily responsible for understanding and implementing this plan. If not, classroom leaders and other volunteers should be aware of the plan and do their best to offer the supports listed in the plan. Our 5th and last step is to make sure the support we're providing is actually helpful. Your church may use communication logs between volunteers or for parents to track what's working well and what isn't. If you notice the accommodations listed in their plan aren't working well, let a children's ministry leader know and the plan may be adjusted. That's it. 5 steps to better support children in your church's ministry. Thanks for listening and stay tuned to go over a sample intake form and accommodation plan.